Hello friends, it's me Dr. Shiji. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the philosophy of Upanishads. These are the contents which I'm going to discuss. Upanishads are the concluding portion of Vedas, therefore called Vedanta. The term Upanishad has got three parts, Upa, Ni and Sat. Upa means nearby, Ni means devotedly, Sat means to sit. Therefore, Upanishad means to sit devotedly near the Guru by acquiring knowledge about the ultimate reality to destroy ignorance and get freedom from worldly bondage. It is believed that there are 108 Upanishads are there. Among them, 10 are more important. They are Isha, Kena, Kada, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taittiriya, Aitareya, Chandogya and Brihadaranyaka. Philosophy of Upanishads. See, the self is the content of Upanishadic study. Its philosophy can be called monistic idealism. Reality is one and that pervades all in idealistic manner. This oneness of reality is called Brahman and its subjective aspect is called Atman. Atman and Brahman are identical. Realization of Atman is the ultimate aim of man. It leads to Brahmajnana. Atman is our inmost individual being. Brahman is the inmost being of the universe. The Mahavakyas of Upanishads reveal the uniform nature of Atman and Brahman. The word Brahman is derived from the Sanskrit root Bra, which means to grow. It is a cosmic reality. It is from Brahman that the whole world emerges. It is infinite, omniscient, omnipotent and omnipresent. The nature of Brahman is Sat Chit Ananda. It is a self of all objects in the world. There are two distinct views in Upanishads about the relation between Brahman and the world, cosmic and acosmic views. According to the cosmic view, the world is evolved from Brahman, Parinama. Both Brahman and the world that comes out of it are real. The physical universe and the individual cells are not altogether different from Brahman. They emerge from Brahman and has got the qualities of Brahman. They are identical with Brahman as well as different from it. The relation between the world and the Brahman is called identity in difference, Bheda Abheda Vada. The theory of causation implicit in this view is called Brahma Parinama Vada. According to the cosmic view, Brahman alone is real and the world is unreal. The world is a manifestation of Brahman, Vivarta. The world is subjected to change while the Brahman remains changeless. In this relation between Brahman and the world is mere illusion. The theory of causation implicit in this view is called Brahma Vivarta Vada. These two different descriptions of Brahman in Upanishads give rise to two systems of later Vedanta school, that is Vishishta Advaita and Advaita Vedanta. The cosmic and acosmic distinction of Brahman leads to two distinct natures of Brahman, that is Saguna and Nirguna. First one is Saguna Brahman. Saguna or Abhara Brahman is the nature of Brahman according to the cosmic view. It is determinate, conditioned and has qualities. It is related to empirical world. The absolute is related to spatial temporal world is God or Saguna Brahman. He is the creator, preserver and destroyer of the world. He is the material and efficient cause of the world. The method of apprehending is Idi, Idi, this. Nirguna or Parabrahman is the nature of Brahman according to the cosmic view. It is indeterminate, unconditioned and is devoid of qualities. It is without beginning or end, is devoid of temporal sequences and transcends the past, present and future. It is a supreme reality and is one without any second. Attributelessness is its attribute. The method of apprehending is Neti, Neti. Atman is the essence of subjective reality. It stands for mere essence of living beings, especially human beings. It is a spiritual element present in the body. It is a source of all consciousness. The spiritual self can be realized only through intuition. The real self is beyond body, mind, and ego. Upanishads describe Atman as the eye of all eyes and the ear of all ears. Shankaracharya in his Advaita Vedanta describes an individual in terms of three bodies, five sheaths, and three states of experience. According to Shankara, a conscious human being undergoes three states of experience, that is, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep state. We all experience these three states, but we are not aware of these experiences or what they mean. The experiences may change, but the experiencer is the same. Waking state. In this state, the body, senses, and the mind are active. It is the ordinary waking state of human being. The individual is conscious about the world and its contents, and one's awareness extends outside. Consciousness is closely associated with the physical body. In this state, a person identifies oneself with the physical body. Dream state occurs when a person is asleep. It is not an unconscious state. In this state, mind alone is active and the body is at rest. In the waking state, the mind receives sense data and formulates ideas. During dream, the mind fashions the world of forms. The jiva in this state is known as the vital self. It is described as inward knowing. In this state, the mind is free from the body idea. Deep sleep state. It is a state of dreamless sleep. In this state, a person has neither external nor internal awareness. There is cessation of empirical and normal awareness as the mind and senses are at rest and inactive. The individual is completely withdrawn into oneself. The jiva in this state is known as the intellectual self, prajna. Besides these three, there is a fourth state called turiya, pure consciousness, which is according to Advaita, a revelation of self's true nature. This state is beyond the experience of ordinary human being. The state which transcends the common three states of experience and awareness. It is the experience of the infinite and non-different. Three bodies and the five sheaths. According to Shankara, a human being has got three bodies constituted by five sheaths in which the self resides. The three bodies are the gross body constituted by the foot sheath, the subtle body constituted by the vital air sheath, mental sheath, and intellectual sheath, and the causal body constituted by bliss sheath. Gross body is the physical body, which is a product of five elements, that is water, fire, air, earth, and ether. It undergoes six changes, that is birth, existence, growth, maturity, decline, and death. It is constituted by Annamaya Kosha, or the physical sheath. The word Anna means food. It is the outermost layer of an individual. Living through this layer, a person identifies oneself with a mass of flesh, skin, fat, and bones. Subtle body lives in the mind and intellect. The Pranamaya, Manomaya, and Vijnanamaya koshas reside in this body. It controls the movement of the air, directing our physical and mental activities. Prana is the life force that infuses the body, giving it life and maintaining its organic structure. Pranamaya kosha is coupled with five organs of actions, that is speech, apprehension, locomotion, excretion, and procreation. The Manomaya kosha is the mind sheath composed of mind and five organs of knowledge. The Vijnanamaya kosha constituted by the intellect and sense organs. This sheath helps to differentiate between virtues and vice, good and bad, right and wrong, etc. It controls the mind, senses, and all the activities. The causal body is the original embryo, the cause of the gross and subtle bodies in the future birth of the soul that is not liberated. It may be equated with Prakriti. The Anandamaya kosha resides in this body. Anandamaya means constitute of Ananda or bliss. It is the innermost sheath veiling the self. During deep sleep state, the bliss sheath has got fullest play. During death, both the causal and subtle body get separated from the physical body. The lifespan of each of these bodies is different. The gross body depends on gross food, therefore it has very less life. The subtle body depends upon thoughts and feelings and can therefore survive longer. And the causal body survives longest since it needs only peace. Atman Brahman identity. The two pillars of Upanishadic thought are Atman and Brahman. They are one and the same reality. From the objective side, the ultimate reality is called Brahman, and the same reality from the subjective side is called Atman. Upanishads describe the identity between Atman and Brahman through various Mahavakyas. Tattvamasi, given in Chandogya Upanishad, means you are that. That means the objective reality and the subjective reality are identical. Aham Brahmasmi, given in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, explains that I am Brahman. That is, Atman is Brahman. I am Atma Brahman, given in Mandukya Upanishad, means my Atman is Brahman. Thank you for watching. See you soon with a new topic. Bye.